can't actually check if I'm live. Can I? Wonder if you can hear me. Yeah. Hello. 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 Okay, that's weird. So I don't know if it's working on the actual stream. Can you hear me on Facebook, and I think you can hear me on Instagram? It's still plugged in. Doing a bit of a test run. But generally, if I can't hear myself, that means nothing's happening. King 3 mode. Can read the subtitle. So you can hear me, okay. It's strange that I can't hear myself. What about now? Oh, you know why? I know why. So I'm streaming on Instagram, and now it's working. Now I was going to be able to hear myself. Maybe I don't have to. So questions. Anyone? I was bored, so I thought I'd try all my stream equipment out. So it's on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Hello? It's really weird. Turtles are good. They have basically been out since I got them off Lee. I've been fine, perfect. They're in a 2,500 litre pond. It's about 650 mil deep, 2 meters round, or 2.2, I think it was, diameter. So yeah, they're going well. Don't see much during the day, but at night time, if I go there now, they'll be sitting on the surface, cruising around. I built a ramp so they can come out of the water, and a nest box if they want to lay eggs. So it's not too bad. So yeah, if you have any more rescues, let me know. I will take them. It's really strange. Sort of spin me out while I can't hear myself in my headphones. Okay. Because no. Is it too loud on YouTube, or does it sound good? So we've got a few people on Instagram and a few people on Facebook and YouTube. I think the best place to watch streams is YouTube. So come have a look there. Yeah. Any questions? Other questions? It's been raining pretty consistently the last couple of days, so not a lot of snake calls. Pretty quiet. Haven't had many interesting ones. A lot of red belly blacks, a lot of golden crowns. Yeah, I've got to look between the two things because you can't, with the software you can't stream between, for whatever reason you can't do Instagram. You can, but there's a chance that they'll turn your Instagram off, so we don't want that. And I have badges now on Instagram, which I don't even know what that is. So if you know what badges is, I'm pretty stoked about that. Just wondering if I've done a setting somewhere. Floraville, I get. So Adam asked if I get snake calls for Floraville. I do get lots of Floraville. I get a lot of all around the lake, and all types of species. So pythons, diamond pythons, the only endemic species in the area. Red belly blacks, golden crowns, green tree snakes, dwarf crowns, blind snakes, yellow face whip snakes, and marsh snakes or swamp snakes. So get quite a few. So yeah, and then like we get there's about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 brown coloured snakes that we get in our area. Not always an eastern brown as well. So even if I've got caught green tree snakes that are like brown in colour, with barely any yellow belly seen. So that can happen. Hey mate, have you ever been bitten by a venomous snake? If so, what was the outcome? Cheers. I have not been bitten by a venomous snake. Always exercise caution when I'm catching snakes. I don't jump into things. I'm really not cautious, but well aware of what a snake's going to do, and don't put myself in any dangerous situations. And if there is a situation where I have to actually physically pin or grab a snake that's in distress, say like it's in bird netting or trapped in some way, which they're very defensive. I have white-proof gloves that I got from America, which you could stick a hypodermic needle into and it'll bend it. So yeah, and as well because we have insurance that we have to, you have to have insurance as a snake catcher. So the more caution and the more safety I involve, my insurance is a lot better. So I have procedures I follow and safe work method statements I use for mine sites and building sites and stuff like that. So good question. And it's nothing unusual to get snake calls on after a lot of rain too, because obviously snakes are under rocks, in holes, and the holes fill up with water. They will come out eventually. They just need a little bit of heat to get going. So yeah, I'm expecting the first warm day will be pretty busy. And we've started offering as well now. So either 6 monthly, 3 monthly inspections of your properties. We do a lot of daycares, schools. So come in, we have a look around, see if there's any activity for any reptiles, and then give you a bit of a sheet and a bit of a rundown of what you should be looking for, and the types of species that we get in the area. And if there's any reptiles, we remove them if you want them removed. Better be safe than sorry. What area would I visit the most? I don't really. I was trying to. Someone asked me that the other day. I don't really have an area that has been more visited than the most. It's like every suburb around Lake Macquarie I've been to, even into Newcastle, into town, like right in town. So yeah, Stockton, Kooragang, like everywhere. There's another fella that does up near Maitland, so he will take over there. But I do mainly Lake Macquarie. I don't do Central Coast that much. There's other people down that way. So yeah, but as far as what the calls are mainly about, it's mainly well, a lot of the calls are. Well, firstly, we offer like if you have a snake, you can send a photo, and we can ID it for you, and then tell you how to deal with it if you want to deal with it by yourself, depending on the species. And then the main species we get called to are red belly blacks. So it's just red belly black after red belly black at the moment. And then at night time, golden crown, golden crown. Well, there's 8 people watching. There's got to be 8 questions at least. So do I have regular? I do have regular places. I try to use all the time. I don't like releasing in a new area because like I don't know what sort of traffic gets through there. So yeah, and the permit only allows me to do if I catch a snake, it can only go 20 k's from where I've caught it. So yeah, so less build up areas, and I don't just release it down the road. I get that asked a lot actually. I have a joke with every single person that asks me. They say, "What are you going to do with it now?" And I say, "I'm going to release it at the neighbours and make some more money." But that's not the case because I had a fella last year. He had a diamond python. He was happy to relocate it himself. It was in his own backyard. Ideally, you're not meant to because you're not meant to interact with wildlife without a license. He did that, and then the exact snake was back a couple of months later, and he took it, I think, 300 meters down the road. So it's better to call a professional, and he actually did call us out, and we would relocate it, so it wouldn't get back there. But ultimately, like with a python, I try and avoid relocating because it is disruptive to the reptile because they have shelter, food, water, all in that area, and that's why they're there. So, yeah, good question. What is the process? So the process for a reptile that's not local to the area, I get this a lot too. I will assess what the animal is, and then I advertise it that I found someone's pet because it's usually someone's pet, and then if I don't home it or find the owner, you call up one of the local societies, which is ARC, and then they give it to them and they process the animal, I think it goes to a ballot, and then if no one collects it, then it goes to a ballot to one of the local societies, and then it gets rehomed to another owner through national parks. I've caught a lot of pythons, like escaped pets. I've caught one blue belly black, which is not from this area, obviously. They're from more western New South Wales. I can only assume where I caught it. It's the back of Cardiff, so near the industrial estate. So I reckon it came in machinery or something like that from out west. So, Sam, I am. So I got this young kid on here now on Instagram that came and visited me in Australia on an Aussie animal tour, and he went around Australia. We looked at all reptiles and all over the place, and he had a fun time. Didn't Sam I am? He didn't call your mum, so I think he was 15 when he was here. He didn't call his mum for like 3 days. His mum was petrified, didn't know where she was. Were you from Texas? Crazy. So what is the rarest snake you've ever caught? The rarest snake? For a Lake Macquarie, probably a death adder. Very rarely do you see them, but I have caught one and relocated them. Sam I am. And so what's going on with Sam? No? Any other questions? He's 23 now. Bloody hell. My goodness. Do you remember you got bitten by that wasp? And we said that the only way to cure the bite was we had to urinate on you. Classic. His face went in the bush in the middle of nowhere. And Sam's face was just like, what do you mean? The red wizard, that's right. So he got bitten by a wasp, and he's like, oh, what was that? We made up a whole backstory. Oh, mate, they're very rare, and if it does bite you, it's certain death, and the only way to cure it is to urinate, get someone to wee or urinate on the wound. And the look on Sam's face that he thought he'd have to get urinated on was just the best. But I think it was just a flying ant or something like that. So the red wizard, so good. So what is Sam? So what do you do now? Just working 24/7, fixing to start school to be a barber. Fair enough. So you want to go to school to be a barber? I still can't believe you didn't ring your mum. So you flew halfway around the world, didn't talk to your mum for days. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I can't even look. So what else is happening in CMIM? Can you track? You'll be able to. Oh, you don't have to tell your mum when you're travelling now. Funny man. What's going on with me? Not a lot, mate. Just the same old stuff. G'day, Rob. I'm just testing out my live stream stuff. Does it look good, Rob? So Rob's a South African fellow that lives not far from me. He used to hang out with Dingo. Where's the reps? They're asleep. The only things awake at the moment are geckos. So they are. Actually, I've got a couple of eggs coming. So I've got albino, posset, Niferous. I think they're posset, or they might be dingo. He's worst. That's like, yeah, he doesn't like dingo at all. I don't know why. I think they're posset patternless. They might be double heads. I'm just not sure. I'll find out. So so the female is gravid right now. I got them off Greg Carter, the Gecko King in my area, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked. So patternless, posset, albino, or it might be patternless, het albino. And I've got some eastern and western millii, Undersaurus millii, gravid at the moment as well, and then my Abrams are gravid as well. So yeah, trying to get eggs out of geckos is new for me. So I mean, they've laid in the past for me, but like actively knowing when they're going to lay and providing them good areas, I haven't really focused on before. But that's the beauty of having less animals. You can actually focus on what's going on with your animals. So yeah, that's where the reps are. Trentos, the name. Come on, Rob, what questions you got? And I've got olive and marbled eggs in the incubator right now. And I've just got bearded dragons as well. And hopefully there's a 0 in there. And I've got more bearded dragon eggs to come. So. Not much. I've been working on all I did besides hanging out with my family and girlfriend. Yeah, right. You and Pete still deep in the reptile. Yeah, we both are. I haven't spoken to Pete in a long time. What things have you scaled back? Are you still using big walking cages? I don't have all my big animals anymore. All my animals I have now are actually up in my house where I can see them. And I'm going to use the big walking cages I had. Still got all the steel and framework, and I'm going to use that to build some outdoor apiaries. Because I've still got a Merton's water monitor that I'm going to build like a outdoor water habitat, and then also a walk-in python cage for like coastals and diamonds that I have living outside. At the moment, they live outside, and it's has a solar fed heat mat. So that's pretty cool. So that cage, and I moved the solar. I had the solar panels on the side of my house, but now I moved the solar panels right on top of the cage, tilted it like 30 degrees, and that's a perfect angle to shield the cage from the really harsh midday sun. So, and obviously the midday sun's on it, it's cranking the solar. So, and I've got two, I think they're 5 watt or 10 watt, 12 volt, 12 volt heat panel things, and so it's fully run off solar. It has a lithium battery which runs pretty much all night. It's in the middle of winter, and it's under a tile, so the tile heats up and stays warm. So I'm pretty stoked with that. There's a little design thing I did, and it actually worked. So the only reptile I have nowadays is a single northern blue tongue. Well, that's good. You'll have that forever. So yeah. So at one stage, I had like 60 blue tongues or 80 blue tongues, all different types, but it's just too much, So it's far better having less that looked after, I think. What do you reckon, Rob? If you're still there? And yeah, so yeah, well, I actually have to do more videos. I have all the stuff now to do videos, obviously, but I I was actually watching some old shots I done last night, and like the setups I used to like make to get the shots were pretty basic. But it was just down to the macro lens and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't do a lot of. I did it once. I did a puff adder. I filmed a puff adder in 120 frames a second, and I wish I'd done more of that. So yeah, I'm gonna do more 120p stuff of reptiles because this looks better. And in that footage, you can see like the puff adder actually walking, like using its scales to walk on the ground like a caterpillar. It's pretty cool. So yeah. And the camera stuff since I started on YouTube to now is so much different. Like it just, I mean, if you get involved in that world, you can just lose, or you can use so much money on cameras every year, and something else will just come out the next year. It's about finding what works for you. Like I found that Sony works good for me. Like the menu's good, usability is good, interface is good, lenses are good. So yeah, I was using Nikon for a long time, and I had a Z6 full frame, and it was good, but it's just very not complicated, but just hard to use for me. So now, yeah, Sony menu is so much easier for me to use, and as well, like using S-Log and stuff like that to film, and then you can color grade later. So, which back in the day, I never did any of that sort of stuff. It was just straight out of camera, straight onto YouTube. And I wish now some of the stuff I would have tweaked, but you don't know until you know. So, I mean, in the other channel I was involved with, we did like over 200 videos, and we're learning as we went. So, but now, like, I find myself trying to make it perfect. So then you get into a spiral of not doing anything. So, so you just got to break that. I actually got my passport photos done last week. Gonna come see you folks down in Oz sometime in the near future. Wow. What are you, like 7 foot tall now as well? So I'm live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And on Facebook, there's 2 pages: my page, Colin Schumacher, and Land Quarry Snake Catcher. So it could be bombarding people, but I reckon it works cool. But yeah, I'd like to, because I think I'm streaming in 1080 this time, which I didn't last time. So that'd be interesting to look on YouTube. Yeah. So any more questions? I'm going to take some more questions, and then I'm going to fiddle because I can't hear myself. Normally I can. That's sort of spinning me out. So I can't check my levels on the microphone. But Rob, we need to, probably after a bit of rain like we've had, it'd be good to hit up the place I want to go to look for range species. So, but it'll be a nighttime excursion, that's all. So yeah. Mm. Any more questions? Don't be afraid to type questions. Because it's boring without questions. Not even close. Sam, I am. What time is it in the US right now? Must be early morning. I don't even know what Badgers is. I've got this thing on Instagram called Badgers. I've turned it on. Why are you up so early? Wild man. So I just wish the software I was using I could just like stream through everything without any issues, but it doesn't work like that. I'm at work. So what do you do for work now? Sam, I am. Like it's literally only me and you talking. I'm going to say one person, which would be you watching right now. Mm. Might have to. I don't know. Come on, Sam, I am. Tell me what you do now. Good old HEB. What the fuck is that? Come on, man. HEB. Right, I get it now. Sweet. Pays the bills, mate. So how many reptiles did you have, Sam? How do I? I'm just on my computer trying to share the stream, see if it works. There we go, like that. Then I share. There you go, back to Facebook. Now this is complicated. There we go, like that. I had like 20 dragons back in the day. There you go, like that. There you go, like that. Okay, try that, see if that works. And so why just the blue tongue now? What happened? I mean, blue tongue's a good animal. Ooh. So that's pretty cool. So questions, come on. Yeah. That's the thing, like with reptiles, they are demanding, like especially bearded dragons, so holy shit. And 20 of them, you're a crazy person. That's insane. But yeah, no, instead of having a lot of one thing now, I have a varied collection. So, yeah, and a lot of stuff I haven't kept before, like a lot of different gecko species and what haven't I kept before that I have now that yeah, different for me. Oh, Frizy. About time you got here. On well, I've had knobtails before, but not as many as I've got now. Yes, raise main roaches for them. You didn't send me a notification. Sorry, mate. They're going to. Oh yeah, that sucks. So was that juvia roaches or wood roaches? All roaches are gross. Frizy's onto breeding or cultivating grasshoppers, I think. So You didn't send me a notification. How am I meant to send you a notification? Like, is there a certain way? I don't do this live stream stuff that much anyway. And like the live stream on Instagram, it's good, but it's better on I like YouTube, but no one watches the YouTube. You watch on your TV, comment on your phone. Like a message, hey bro, I'm going, yeah, I could do that. Yeah. Wanker, I know. Whatever, Frizy. I've pretty much been talking to Sam for like 40 minutes because no one else is talking. Okay. What is this? There's only, yeah, I know. There's Sam and you. Do you see the albino pins? No, I did not. Do you have, I don't have Snapchat. Look, we started off strong, Frizy, like there's 5 people, and now there's like 2. I'm sure if I did live streaming more, I'd get more people. More questions. Like it's boring just talking shit to myself. Yeah, I'm fucking old. Like, Frysy's got TikTok. I'm not doing TikTok. That's for like 12-year-old kids. But apparently he loves it, so. Just invited a bunch. Cool. Any more? Have you got lava yet, Frosty? Bread one? You do a little. I've seen your lives of Americans. I have. Triple hit slugged out yesterday, bro. Yeah, fuck. That's the way it goes, eh? So is there anyone on Facebook watching? On Instagram? Sorry, Facebook and YouTube. I can see there's 3 people watching, but they're not commenting. Like, ask me a question. Good, bad, or ugly, I don't care. I heard you mention something that 0 bit dragon. Yeah, I have zeros. How long we had zeros in Oz? I've seen my first one in the USA's in 2016. I'm going to say. No, it was probably earlier than that. Maybe 2015. And I got mine in 2019. My stock needs upgrading. What stock? Your triple hats. What's this mean? What's my okay? Oh, I didn't know you do that, Pricey. What's my next monitor? I have a question box. And I see that. Fuck, this is new for me, Pricey. So I'm on Instagram as well, people. So, what's my next monitor? I don't want any big monitors. Probably King Oran. If I was going to get some monitors, don't mind them. They're easy to get now. Hence the views. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for the pick me up. So yeah, probably King Oran, mate. How many geckos do you have, and what do you want to work with? I have species wise, or like in general. Like I think I've got. So the Western and Eastern Underwoodosaurus milii, are they the same? They're the same species. So I've got Eastern and Westerns of those. I've got Amiae. I've got Nephurus amiae. I've got Nephurus levis, and I've got Strophoros aberrans, Strophoros solaris aberrans. So, and yeah, obviously I want to get some chameleon geckos. And that's as far as, and some, one day, because you have like a list, like any real reptile person has like a list of things that they want to keep and learn and observe and then breed. And the other one is like even northern northern leaf-tail geckos. The big ones. I don't know if they're called rough throats or I'm not sure. I do actually wrote a bucket list. Can you believe that? I wonder if I can get to it on my computer. I think I can. Stand by, fries. Stand by, mate. Stand by. So I can always look at it and go, Northern's coronatus. No, I think it's rough throats. Cane toads, yeah. How do I search my notes? No, wait, anyway. Hang on, Friday. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah. So I wrote this list on 27th of March this year. Rough skull pythons. So I want to successfully breed those. I could fire up a podcast with guests. So rough skull pythons, I want to keep them in a natural, as close to natural Kimberley looking, where they come from, like talk to Scott Iper or whoever's been there, has a photo of that area, and make a cage exactly like that, and then breed them in that. I'm not into the breeding in tubs. Green tree pythons, same thing. Naturalistic cage. I'm not like I'm interested. Like, yeah, like anyone can breed them in the basic cages. Like Luke from Beach. It's called Beachley Scaly Beast. He's bred his green trees and then let them naturally incubate them. And I think they hatched. I've seen on his on his Instagram that one had hatched, so that's pretty cool. All the podcast here for you have some reach. Is it Luke from Beachly Scaly Beast? So that was fucking sick, man. Like if you could do that, that's awesome. I put on this list mangrove monitors. Like I'm just trying to think why. I mean, like I do like my lizards always have. Kimberley rock monitors is another one. Lace monitors, but the lace monitors I would do outside. So I wouldn't do them inside. And then spiny tail skinks, so Ipsilosa, which are my faves, doing those. But all those things like reptiles I want to work with, so that is, at least I wrote earlier this year, sat down and wrote it, which I don't normally do. But like even, like now I've had shinglebacks in the past, had them as babies, raised them up, didn't do much, and then I bought some really crappy goldfields that were really in poor condition when I got them. And then they just didn't do it. Like I don't know where they came from. But anyway, so I've got some. Yeah, well, okay. So this badger thing, I don't know what it is. I've gone through all the bullshit to set it up, and I have it now. Are you gearing up to go big again or small scale? Small scale, mate. I like having less animals that I can like. They all have names, and I like. I don't know. I just like that sort of thing. What's next with the dragon? Do you want to work with? What is next dragon you want to work with? Now I have a hypertrans leatherback, but I'd like to see a hypertrans leatherback 0. So everything all in one. Why not? And the Dunner. Dunner's very subtle, so. What's next? What's your next knobby? I've got badges. How did I manage the badges? I don't know. It came up. I went through the bullshit and I got it. So buy a badge. I don't know how you do it. You do it. Send me 50 cents, mate. My next knob tail. No, I don't really. Have you seen those red monsoon dragons from China imported into the US? No, I haven't, but they're probably like an Eastern Central Cross, I would say. Oh, okay. Come on, mate, buy one. It says I've been on live streaming for 40 minutes or more, and I've earned 0. Try telling your viewers about badges. Okay, viewers, I have badges. So if you like, go to Instagram, watch the live stream, buy a badge, and ask me a question. Now I know how the questions pop up on the live stream. So on YouTube, they all pop up in front of me, but on here, they pop up elsewhere. Interesting. See, Fries, I don't do this sort of stuff. Do more like filming stuff. Like with this sort of stuff. My lovely wife has bought me some cool cameras for Christmas, which I have to wait till Christmas to open. So annoying. What do you do? This guy's really good. Oh, shelf unit, yeah, I know. No, this is where I keep all my stuff, mate. This is my little room. So over there, I'm gonna set up like a bench to do like macros, shots of reptiles. So if I want to do a video on knobtail geckos, and I can do all the B, like, yeah, I can go outside and film, but I can film all the B-roll in here, set up a set, make it look like it's outside, but have crystal clear, because I can light it properly and all that sort of stuff. So I want to do that just there. So that everything's controlled, all the lighting and stuff. Because the lighting, man, like, I wish I knew more about lighting when I was doing YouTube before. Because all the stuff I did was outside, and I didn't really know how to light things properly. So yeah. But Fries, you need to get one of these. Good little camera, and it has perfect autofocus, and you can talk to yourself. And the color grading and stuff's awesome. All right, well, I've had enough of this. So, good zoom. Mate, you don't fucking use zoom. Like, if you need to zoom on a reptile, move closer. Because it's not for, like, this camera is not for, I would never zoom on this camera. I would move it closer, because more for talking at. The screen flips out. And then it's, so it does zoom, like, but I wouldn't use it myself personally. Go hoping tomorrow. Mate, it's pissing down rain up here. There's like a rain bomb. But that's the thing, like, I can film, like to me, like, the thing, that's what I've got to get past, like, the stuff that I find boring, you find boring. I could film and make it interesting, and people will watch it, but it's just, like setting up a cage, cleaning regimes, what I feed things. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers on, but not related. Like, I watch this guy, Scott Brown Carpentry, and it's just a carpenter and how he goes about his day. It's really, like, I could watch it all day. It's just interesting. So it's learning how to do that style of YouTube that I'm interested in at the moment, and mastering that, because it's like a bit more of a storytelling thing. So, and then you have, because I can film, like, I was looking back over stuff I'd done previously, and like on other channels, and it's fucking pretty good. I had, like, I know a lot more than I did then, and that's the trouble. Like, you learn more, and then you just have this failure to launch things. So, because you want it perfect, but I've been thinking about doing. That's what I got this set up for, to do the vlog daily thing. This is a setup that they all use. It's a 11 to 20 mil lens, 2.8 lens, so nice crisp lens. Sony camera, grip, and microphone. That's all you need. I mean, you don't even need that. Like, you can just use GoPro. So, and consistency is key, yeah. But yeah, like I could, like at the moment, the way lockdowns are and work like that, I could do a daily vlog, but it's, yeah. So I've been watching, I'll go back to what I was talking about, I've been watching YouTubers that aren't reptile people, just on how to construct something that people would watch, which is key, make it interesting. So yeah, I've been, and then what you do is you storyboard stuff in your head, and you go through there. And another one that my wife hates, which he does a good job of constructing a story, and that's all I watch for because I'm interested in how he edits, because it's all filmed on GoPro, which is $1 million bogan. And he's like a real estate agent / motorbike guy. And yeah, it's just about, and Brian Costco, like out of reptile people, I like Brian Costco's and Brian Barchek's, like they tell a story and it's interesting to watch. It's not just like talking head shots about how good they are and how many reptiles they've bred. Like, that's fucking boring. Like, get in line with the other 20 people who've done it. I do watch Brian and Kenan every day. But Kenan's another good one. Like, Kenan he's walked around that yard of his 1,000 fucking times, but it's always interesting to watch because he makes it interesting. Kenan's a good guy, but like he's like from a TV presenting background, so he's good on camera and interesting to watch. So yeah, you'd be surprised, like the people that are so interesting on camera, in actual person, they're boring people. Very shy. Yeah, or they're completely different. Like, like people I used to work with on camera, they're crazy and funny and all that sort of stuff, but in real person, they're nothing like that. So, and that's the balance you want to, like, I just want to portray myself as me, and I'm not an exciting person, and that's the trouble, you go, oh, this is fucking boring, like, why would I film it? But other people might find it interesting, but then you got to figure out a way to construct a story, edit it, all that sort of stuff. So that's what goes on in my brain, Fuzzy. Yeah, kill yourself laughing. Man, I've been streaming for 1 hour and 8 minutes, and I'm only talking to Frizy. Is there any other questions on Instagram? There's there's obviously people watching on YouTube and that, but no one's commenting. I'm going to say they're stalkers. So, which is, I have a lot of them. What's this about? Just talking shit, mate. Can hear that earth lug rattling around. I missed the start. The start was like an hour ago, and all I'm doing is just, I've got all this gear, just testing to see if it works. But like I said in my head, yeah, I can't stream to Instagram through the software I use, because if I do, they'll shut my Instagram down, which is shit. So I don't know why. I mean, because you can stream to Facebook, and Facebook owns Instagram, so. Anyway. But Frizy, if you got ideas, man, send them to me and I can go, yeah, I'll film that. Because like the other thing is too, like you film a video on how to set something up doesn't make you a fucking authority um, on how to set things up. It's just my point of view. So like my videos would come with a disclaimer saying like this is how I do it. And like the moment that if you're a reptile person and you go, this is how it's done, there's gonna be an error. Find granite belt, thick tail, film that. Yeah, well, mate, I can do all that sort of, like, you gotta remember, like, I've got more kids these days, so, like, just going out and filming stuff is not really an option anymore. Because, I'm a full-time dad, so, so herping-wise, the only real herping I do is catching snakes out of people's yards. Which is cool, because, like, I get to, still get out there. Yeah. It's still cool. Like I did a reptile inspection at a place out near the Waddingham's, which is like a mountain range near where we live, and it was like, man, that place at night time would be the best place to look for snakes and geckos and frogs and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, used to work as a spark. I work for ARTC now, so I still work in the railway. So yeah, I still have a full-time job, catch snakes, dad, and have a reptile collection. But it's all a balance. Like the reptile collection used to rule my life because not my old life, but my life before because I've been divorced, was different to what it is now. So my reptiles were more of an escape to the reality that I was in. So, and yeah, so it got out of control. Like it was out of control, my reptile collection. It was just insane. Like when I look back now and watch videos of myself, I'm like, what was I doing? It was just out of control. But some of the people I was involved in are still into that, and they're just like crazy down the path, and they just can't get out of it, or I don't know why they're doing what they're doing now. So yeah, maybe some albinos hatching soon. How many animals did I have at my peak? So at my peak, oh man, I don't know. Like I didn't have a lot. I'm gonna say probably maybe 200-300. It's just too much. So like, and like, I was getting help to look after them. Things were dying, and you couldn't figure out why because there's just too many. If something got sick, everything got sick. So I just don't want to be that person anymore. Like, fuck those people, man, that have huge collections and keep breeding lots of animals. Like, they're just going to end up like Tiger King people, like fucking idiots, really. Yeah, it does go special person to keep it up forever. Yeah, I mean, like I automated a lot of stuff, and because I'm a Sparky, I computerized a lot of stuff, but you can't, for now, having a blue tongue in a cage where I walk over and I can see it and go, that's my blue tongue. Its name's Asta. Oh, it's got no food, I better get some food. Because it's not in a tub. I don't have to pull a drawer open. It's not in a bank of 10. You know what I mean? So, and I think during because my reptiles were also used as a part of divorce, it really turned me off not pursuing, but like all that bullshit. Just put it behind me. Forever. So, Frizy said, to be honest, I think I would be better off with 10 blueies as opposed to what I have now. Yeah, like, man, I've got like, I don't know how many blue tongues now, but not that many, and it's better. Like, so much better. You can actually take the time and observe things, and I do have a rack system for small snakes because they do best in those. But I just will never. I'm trying to even get away from that. I just, kids come over, they pull out snakes. They all have names. I want to head more down the education way of like showing people that they are cool pets. Because they're like, even still now, they're in pet stores. There are not a lot of pet stores, like up in New South Wales here, especially. And yeah, like people just don't know. It's just hard to catch, right? They are, yeah. And that's trouble. Like the ones that always have problems, like I'll get questions from people. Let's see, your pick yesterday for caging ideas. Did you? Where did you send it? On Instagram? I'll have a look. I'll have a look when I get off the stream. But yeah, like I'm just more into like I was for a while I was like, yeah, I'll just get rid of all my reptiles on Insta. I'll have a look. I don't think I've seen it yet. What? Okay. I've got 3 Instagrams, so I was like, yeah, no, I'll get rid of all my reptiles. I've had enough. But it's not it's like part of your life, you know. It's like I'd be concerned of what I would do with my time. Like, thanks for the reply. Look, man, like I barely fucking know how to do the comments thing, and now anyway. So yeah, like as part of your life, but like I feel sorry for people that have huge collections, and especially in Australia, like you got to do it by yourself because there's that many scumbags that get into collections and diseases, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, and that side of the hobby, I think is pretty shit, to be honest. I mean, year on year you can breed. Oh, I bred another clutch of albino Darwin. It's like fucking why? Like, there's millions of those things now. Don't breed them anymore. I don't know. Like being dragons is different because there seems to be a demand for those, but yeah, I don't know. Like Jags, like why breed Jags? A, they're a little bit retarded, but B, there's heaps of them, so I don't know. It's my personal opinion. Attack me all you want, I don't give a shit. But yeah, eventually I would like the hobby to get into like get back to like the swaps back in the day. Like I bred Albino Olive, you've bred something, let's swap it, So how do I feel about ants? Well, like this year, man, like everyone I've seen has bred marbles. And marbles are the coolest Antaresia out there. Like you can have, I've got an albino spider. They're cool as well. Just cool to have. Like for me, I got it because like shit, that's an albino that's spotted. It's cheap. Or it was cheap when I got it, so I bought it. But the marbles are the fucking they're the top shelf, and there's so much work to do with them to refine them, and I just can't wait to see that. And as far as hybridizing, I don't really care either. Like if it's cool looking snake, it's cool looking snake. So I'm not a locale like in America. Like Americans will be watching, oh, it's from GPS location this and that's where it's from and blah blah blah. Like, but you know, that's great. But yeah, like I was at Tinley Park and people are bringing us up northern blue tongues. They're going, check out my northern blue tongue. And I just say, look, it's not a northern blue tongue, it's an Indonesian blue tongue. And they're like, nah, you're wrong, it's from this locality. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm telling you now, it's fucking not. It's an Indonesian blue tongue. But yeah, they were happy to live in this is a northern blue tongue from whatever area in Australia it was, and it wasn't. So it's funny because like America has all mutations. It has a huge reptile hobby that's been around forever. We've got a reptile hobby that's new, had no mutations. Now we have all mutations, and we have GPS stuff to refine the mutation stuff. I'll be no pin. I will. So yeah, so mate, like they ask your opinion and then tell you you're wrong. And it's like, well, have you been to Australia? Do you know where it is? And 90% of the people wouldn't even know where Australia is, or they think it's part of Eastern Europe or something. Give Gabe a follow too after you see it. Okay, I will. See, Frizy, that's what it's about. But yeah, I literally feel sorry for people that give huge collections and the animals. Like I feel sorry for the animals because my animals were suffering because of what I went through with my divorce and my life at the time, and I tried to do the best for them. And now I'm on the other side of all that bullshit. My animals are well kept. And do you have any plans to head back into America in the future? Yeah, I do. I want to take my new wife and kids, or probably just my new wife, like Chloe, to America. And just, she's not an animal person at all. Oh, she is an animal person, sorry, but she's not definitely not a reptile person. And just to take her and experience, like she wants to see it, because like in Australia, like it's funny. Okay, there you go. PC mic. I thought, because I can't hear myself for his Manate is talking to me as well. Yeah, so she wants to be close to a crocodile and all that sort of stuff. So that would be, I just wanted, because like in Australia, it's very hard to do that sort of stuff. But in America, the right people, you can do whatever you really want, like. So, Seamus, no way, mate. You have to pay for that. Get on Instagram, give me a badge, and I'll think about it. Visual looks nice. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the audio. I fucked around with it before. It just hasn't worked the whole entire time, I don't think. Just looking. Yeah, see, I don't know. It says my input is the microphone. So if I turn it up, does it sound better? Only 16 snakes and 6 lizards, loving it even more now. Yeah, it's better. If you ever come back, so to Texas, yeah. Why would I go to Texas, but I have the passion back. Oh, Mick's here as well. Do you have Mick used to breed the best bearded dragons. So cool. No, it's American in general, you dork. Oh, thanks, man. In America, yeah, well, if I do come, I'll let you know. Don't hate Texas. It's too big, man. Like, what am I going to do in Texas? I've been to Dallas, but I haven't. That's as far as I've been. So I'm streaming on Instagram as well. I'm looking at it up here. Don't know, Texas. Come on, Frizy, I'm waiting for my badge. Can you buy a $1 badge? I'll send it back to you. Southeast Dallas. That's your. So you need Dallas Airport. Is it Dallas Airport? Is that the big one? Do you think reptiles can become an Australian industry in Australia? So, good question, Frizy. So, I've seen a bit of stuff, been around the world with reptiles. No. Oh, I gave my first badge. 67 cents. Fuck. Man, like, you must have worked so hard for that. No, thanks. So, okay, there, it pops up there. Cool. So, no, because we are so heavily. Well, the problem is, like, right, so Australian authorities spend a lot of money and time prosecuting, trying to find these smugglers and stuff to export the animals and then give them fuck all for sentences. So, cases that go on for years. Some people do, like they make examples of people. But if they could make a license that you had to pay for that license, you had to set up a facility to export animals. They had to be tested before they went, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, there could be 100% industry. I said thank you. 100% it could have an industry in Australia. Because we have reptiles that are being currently smuggled overseas for large amounts of money that need and want. Like, for example, Brian Barczyk would breed, I can't remember if it was Brian. Anyway, breed 10,000 leopard geckos every year for the American market. And he said that doesn't even touch the sides of that need and want every year. Like all the colubrity breeds, or back in the day when you're big, it doesn't touch the sides. Like, yeah, it was 35,000 at one point. Okay. So yeah, so if the Australian authorities did that, and like they have every well, why wouldn't you? You make money on the permit, you make money on the taxes and money for the sale of the animals. It's a win-win for the government. Plus, they're not wasting money on trying to, because it'll kill them. Like if you can, like if a person like Ty Park could buy a fully permitted parenti from Australia, he's going to fucking do that. If Brian Barczyk wanted a parenti, so parenti is a big one because, like, if they're in overseas, they're going to come from a zoo or they've been some other way. And there's nothing in private collections really. There is a couple, but not a lot. So if that would happen, A, yeah, the price would go down, but B, that animal's not being distressed, being smuggled, and it's done the right way. So yeah, it could be a big industry. So, you know, like, and it would stop people going out and the permanent system would stop people going out in the bush collecting animals because, you know, like, you create a whole regulatory body, and it wouldn't just be an Akubra hat wearing moron that doesn't know anything about reptiles. It'd have to be a person that goes, there's no way you've bred that, that's a wild animal, like a vet or someone that has knowledge of reptiles. Because, yeah. Do you know how beard drags? Yeah, exactly. And like, people would pay big money for an actual Gosford diamond. You know, captive bred Gosford diamond, captive bred Centralian from localities. That's what I'm saying. Like, they can use that in their projects, whatever they're doing. It'd be lovely to have that restriction open both ways, where we could have tortoises and stuff, but it's not going to happen. But I think it could go one way at least. So we could send our animals out to the world, and make an industry that is actually taxed. We'll make a lot of tax for the government. I mean, it's not going to be a huge amount of money, like, compared to other things, but it still make money for the government. People have been crossing the border and bit of steps to strengthen bloodlines over here. I did see that, yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, only captive bred too. So no, like the collecting, like, because currently I think now you can still collect out of the wild in WA. Because like, hear me out on this one. I'm pretty sure when I was talking to Steve Crawford, so in the east coast of Australia, South Australia, we have that many rough skull pythons. So back in the day, there was hardly any. But we can't, on the east coast of Australia, if we want to send them to WA, I don't think it's possible to send rough skull pythons there. The only way they can have them in WA is if a collector goes and finds one and then brings it back, or they go and find a pair, breed them, and then they can have those babies. But over here, we're swimming in them, which is crazy. So, like, even in Australia, rules and regulations are retarded. So, I mean, we have different permitting systems all through this, like, all different states. It should just be one animal license. You know, like for like mammals, for example, in Victoria you can keep kangaroos, possums, all sorts of stuff. In New South Wales you can keep spinifex hopping mice and plain rats. So it's just. But like over here, we don't have like a US Ark fighting, like a society like that fighting legislation, and because no one will get behind it, which is a shame. Because like, you go to an American Expo, big event, especially the NARBC ones, and they have an auction, and then usually those auctions are raising between 50 to 100,000 USD for US Ark to fight legislation at every expo. But like, could I see that happening here? No. It's a different industry altogether here. So, but could we have American style expos here? Yes. Could we have like a reptarium setup like Brian has? Possibly. So, yeah. No, not until it's too late. Yeah, so it's a shame, like, because yeah, you could you know, like, you could make a living off like, there's a double-edged sword, right? So because you get into a situation where you're making a living off animals, which is ethically a bit strange. So, but you know, some people are just gifted at breeding reptiles and do it well. So why should if they're good at, like, if you're good at something and you have a passion for it, yeah, you should be able to monetize it and have fun doing it. So, what do you think, Frizy? Speak to me. It's fine, but yeah, that's right. And that's the thing. Like, I can buy a macaw here in Australia, no permit. But if I want to keep a black cockatoo, I've got to get a bird permit and buy it. But the macaw's from South America, but that's not a problem in the world. It's very strange. Oh, it's because it's a bird, so they carry different diseases, which is a load of shit, man. Like, I don't know what diseases they're concerned about. Like, if we're importing stuff, I just don't understand. Like, you quarantine things and then release them. Like, if we can travel with COVID-19 and not spread it around, why can't you do that with reptile-related viruses? Like, some must remain dormant for a long period of time. So, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, like, there is instances of red-eared swines in the wild and doing well in populations, so like turtles, so that's a problem. Cane toads, like the CSIRO brought them here. So, to catch a beetle that lives up here and they live down here and they can't get up there. And that was the government that did that. I'm curious how many people actually follow regulations of keeping and selling all those animals in Australia out of. I'd say there are people that I guess don't. Some people don't even know that you need a reptile license. Yeah, I'd get behind that. Some people don't even know about reptile licenses, but most people do. And you follow it. And then in New South Wales, we have cage requirements now. So if you have a bearded dragon, it has to be kept in a certain size cage. Like in America, you are legally required to sell chickens, but people sell chickens and reproduce. Yeah. That way you have to buy your stock, keep being tested, and go for the export shit. We're Frizy. But yeah, it always comes back to this same old shit. And like, there's no USR body pushing for it, going sitting in front of politicians, anything like that. So, and you could make it 400k. Yeah, well, like the figure, like whatever the permit license cost could be, whatever, because like currently right now, like if you like 5 years ago when I was in America, or longer, more than 5 years ago now, they were buying black blue tongues, melanistic blue tongues, I think $9,000 a pop. So, and shinglebacks are $25,000 a pop. And like they only occur in Australia. Like the black blue tongue was found in freshwater in the northern beaches of Sydney, the first one. And now they're all through the world. And they didn't go into a zoo, and then they're sold from a zoo like they're being smuggled. So Yeah, like an Eastern Water Dragon that goes for $30, $20 here, $1,250. Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like, so the figure, because people go, oh, look, we're going to make so much, but it's got to be regulated and it's got to be done right. So, and that's the trouble with reptile people. Anyway, it could work. I agree. But I'm going to leave it there because I've been on for ages now. I'm going to go to bed. But I'm going to look at your messages now. Fries, you want to get off? So I'm going to end the stream now. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you, Ken. I'm going to push this one. Old school.